Good morning. Glad to be back. It's April 10th, Monday. Doug and I took the week off last week. I took an actual real vacation with my family for the kids' spring break. I'm not sure quite what Doug did, but he'll fill us in. But we were off for the morning show. I know that much. We did not do any shows, and it was quite nice. It was different. I mean, we've been doing this now for I don't know 150 shows or something. Uh, and pretty much if we're around on a weekday, which is almost always, we do a show. So it was weird to have 9 days with none, but it was good, refreshing. Did a lot of fun stuff. I'll get into some of that. Um, Adding Doug here to the Instagram, and we'll get going with this thing. There he is.
We're back, baby. We are back.
We're back. Did you do some calisthenics before this or something, Doug? Kettlebell swings, something to get yourself amped up?
I did a bunch of pull-ups and
good.
did some hanging. I don't know what you call them. Hanging where like leg lifts.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, what's
good.
that called? I don't know what that's called.
I don't know. Not like the toes to the bar deal, right? But like the knees to the chest deal.
Knees to the chest. Yep,
Okay.
that's right.
Yeah, I don't know what that's called. But good. Glad you did that.
I am fired up though. I'm ready. You know, Matt, you took the week off of work, which was great. I did not. Did have a very fun week while my kids were on spring break, but did not take the week off work. And I gotta say, this show, I've gotten used to kind of anchoring my mornings and anchoring my day. I got the pre-show work and the post-show work, and I missed it, man. I missed you guys.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I wouldn't know what to do on a work morning if not this. So that does make sense. I didn't really experience that though. I experienced, woke up every day. I was like, I have to do stuff, and then I was like, no, I don't have to do anything. I'm just I was off. So that was really nice. We ended up not doing that much. It was mostly staycation. We went to Asheville for only one night. I went to Asheville. My daughter went a little bit longer. And but we just did a ton of stuff. Like it was exactly as planned. We had this huge list of stuff that we might do, and we probably did 80% of the 30 items that were on there. So it was good. We went to the Whitewater Center, did some climbing and rafting and such. Artificial, of course. Go ahead.
I saw an Instagram post from your wife that was her sitting in a kayak, like with her like feet dangling in the water on like a calm water, and the caption was something like "This is my ideal day" or something like that. And I was just thinking, there's no way Matt is in a kayak next to her right now, because that is not his ideal day. And if he was there, then it probably wouldn't be hers either, because you'd be complaining the whole time. So I'm just I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that was my guess.
Yeah, she showed me that post, and we got a laugh out of it. I actually I was in a raft at that moment. I was doing a much more exciting type of thing, which is much, it kind of makes sense, consistent with my arguments that I get too bored with outdoor activities. So at least the rafting, although not a thrill ride, not a roller coaster, but it was a nice, fun thing. So I was doing that, and we couldn't bring my daughter in this like next level of whatever it is, rapids raft. I don't know what it is. It's the adventure thing, not the family one. So you can't bring people under 11 or something. So she had to sit it out. So Aaron nicely volunteered to do kayaking with her at that time. But it was fun. I really enjoyed the climbing. I don't know. I always say this. I wish I could climb more. The problem with climbing though, it's like swimming used to be for me. When I try to go to it, like I think, okay, I'm going to spend the next couple hours like climbing. And after 10 minutes, I'm just spent. Like my forearms are just on fire, and I just can't do anymore. So it doesn't really ever last very long.
Do you boulder, or do you like top rope? What do you?
No, I don't know what it's called. It's not on the bouldering wall where you're kind of just. My camera keeps going. It's just the auto belay system, and they have like a bunch of difficulty levels, and you just go up and keep going. I have not yet done the one. It wasn't open this time where there is no rope or whatever, and you just fall into a 20-foot deep pool if you fall.
Oh, that's fun.
And the thing arches back off of the, arches back. So eventually you're climbing upside down if you're good enough. But it wasn't open. They said too cold in the water.
Yeah.
So I haven't done that yet. But yeah, did all that stuff. Went to a basketball game, which was kind of fun. Kind of strange.
Yeah. How was it?
I don't know. It was like nothing like going to like a soccer game. I don't know. It just felt like a spectacle. It felt like we were at like a WWF sort of match or WWE or whatever.
Oh yeah,
we're just so far away, the tiny court, and like it was hard to get into the game. I don't know,
all the lights and music, cool. And
it was just like all this entertainment that was different from like the main focus on the sporting event. But I mean, I think it was the next last game of the season. They're very far out of it. So there wasn't much reason to be into the event. But we had a good time. It was still fun.
Any good vegan eats at the stadium?
I made paella last night. That was kind of our capstone end of the trip. That was a good time.
Good.
Split a nice bottle of wine for that before we go into this this hell week or whatever, this 3 week. What's this thing called? This 3 week period?
The no fun challenge. That's
yeah. No, 21-day dry challenge, which begins today. So I figured that'd be a good way to just get ready for it. Other good vegan eats. This is not really a good vegan eat. On the way home from Asheville yesterday, we needed lunch, and I stopped at Whole Foods and ran in and got what was there in the hot bar, and they had vegan fish fillets. It was kind of the only thing. There wasn't like the normal vegan fried tofu that I usually look for in a Whole Foods. And so I got them, and not that excited about it because the first ingredient was textured vegetable protein or something, which I don't tend to think is really very healthy. But I was mostly worried about them tasting like fish and the kids not wanting it. But they actually didn't. They tasted like chicken nuggets, so they were fun.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I don't know. Went to other restaurants and things. Place called Barcelona Wine Bar. Just we've been to before. I don't know. Nothing. No mind blowing like food. But it was just good. I don't know. We just did family stuff the whole time. Family things that we don't get the chance to do with the hectic soccer lifestyles. So it was very good. It was a great time. But enough about that. How about you? How are things going? And then we'll jump into this dry 3 week thing, and then some other stuff too, because Discord kept on going while we were gone.
It did.
A little bit of updates there too. Yeah. So what about you? What's going on?
Let's see. Yeah, we stuck around. My kids were off school, so the kids and Katie and her mom went on a bunch of day trips and fun adventures, and I got to tag along to some of that. But mostly just normal week here. We did have unusually heavy Trader Joe's week, where we did a Trader Joe's run, and then also we went to an Easter gathering with some family yesterday, and it was almost brought to us by Trader Joe's. At least all the vegan stuff was kind of brought to us by Trader Joe's. That person picked up. And a couple of things that I wanted to call out that I thought were particularly interesting. One was a vegan buffalo dip. And I have no idea what was in it. They had thrown away the package before I could take a look at it. But it was very good dip, and it's not too often you get those kind of creamy dips that are actually tasty. And then the other one was these like little mini. It's called Hold the Dairy mini coconut non-dairy frozen dessert cones. These like chocolate cones that are like about the size of, I don't know, your middle finger or something. So very small. And man, I ate like 3 of those things. They were so freaking good. And I'm not, I'm not a huge dessert person, but
like they're frozen like ice cream cones.
Yeah, I like frozen ice cream cones.
Like the old large king cones, I think they were called. Those chocolate coated cones?
Very similar to those. Yep.
Oh, okay.
But they're like mini. They're very small. Right. They were perfect for like a kid. And I grabbed one and I was like, oh man, these are good. And I just kept going back for more. So huge fan of the Hold the Dairy vegan chocolate cones from Trader Joe's.
All right, good. I think I've definitely had that vegan buffalo dip before, and it is good. It's not like a hummus. I just Googled it, and it says made out of cauliflower and pumpkin seeds. So healthy stuff. Good. That's good.
Jody Sheck over here says that you have to eat 10 of them. The serving size is 6. That was my experience, pretty much.
You only had 3. You had half a serving.
I know. I only had 3 because I was just trying to,
healthy.
Keep some restraint there, but
yeah, good. Well, I had a vegan dessert last night too. Aaron had bought as a surprise for us things that it's like it was like good fudge or good chocolate. I don't know what the name is. She'll probably be able to tell us. But they were like those Klondike bars where there's just vanilla ice cream block with that good frozen chocolate around it, and they were vegan, of course. And the company does a lot of good stuff too. They have a good foundation that they I don't know, support good causes. So that was nice. Good.
Any Easter candy? Any vegan Easter candy?
No, we don't. We've gotten away from celebrating Easter. I actually forgot it was Easter, literally like until about halfway through the day. So no, just don't.
I went looking. I went on a hunt to a couple different Walgreens looking for vegan Reese cups. And couldn't find any. So they must not be in the local stores here, or they're sold out.
Are they thought to be people have found them in actual Rite Aids.
Oh,
and Walgreens.
well, I assume so. I thought that some people had reported that they bought them.
Maybe. I mean,
maybe
my
I'm wrong.
sister-in-law did. She went to Hershey Park though, and that was different.
Oh yeah, okay.
But they may be out. I don't know.
I went to two different stores and couldn't find them. So we ended
Did you
up
ask people
ordering
for 'em, or you just looked?
I just looked.
Yeah, you can't ask. You can't ask for that.
Do you have that vegan chocolate?
Yeah, those employees at those places are pretty low energy. They're not usually too eager to help. Maybe that's an unfair stereotype, but
yeah,
they don't seem to love their jobs.
But we did order some like vegan chocolate bunnies for the Easter baskets that were
okay.
They were a hit.
Good. Glad to hear it. Oh, the last thing that we did. Well, we did a few little other things, movies, and I don't ever watch action movies. I watch only comedies, like as a rule, pretty much. I watched Top Gun Maverick, The Patriot, and Gladiator with Holden. We had a good time.
Wow, those are some big ones.
He was all into them. I've only really, because of him, have started watching a few of them.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, so anyway, that's not what I was going to say. The thing that really took all my time up, I was going to do all this reading. I had all these plans to do just like good, wholesome activities. We did a Peanuts puzzle. Peanuts, Charlie Brown, 3,000 piece puzzle. And I must have put 25 hours into this puzzle. I mean, I just got addicted to it, which is one of my traits. I get addicted to these little puzzles and can't stop. And you stay up late, and it was such a waste of time. But good.
Not a waste of time at all, Matt. I am right there with you on puzzles. I'm a huge puzzle fan. I can't have them out because I will do exactly what you did. But on vacation, especially a staycation, that's perfect.
It is a
great
time
activity.
To do it. Yeah. It was good. You're right. And it was good time with family as well, doing it together. So it wasn't a waste of time. I just wish it wasn't quite so much time. We should have gone for like 1,000 piece or something.
Okay. Yeah.
And the Peanuts.
Did you finish?
No, it's still like there's like 15 pieces left right now. I was working on it before the show began, trying to just get it done before the spring break officially ended with the beginning of the show, but failed. So it's just about at the end.
I have a puzzle. Actually, this is something that you don't know about me, I don't think. When we do calls that I'm not actively participating in very much, but I have to be on. I sit and I have a 1,500 piece puzzle on my table over there that I work on. It's a good way to.
That's a great idea. Mm-hmm. I should do something like that.
Hey, one more thing that I did think of that's kind of a funny story. Eliza had a yes day. You know what a yes day is?
Yep. I've seen the movie and understand what that is.
Okay. I earned a yes day as her first day of spring break on Saturday.
I don't know if non-parents know what that is. You should probably tell people.
Well, basically, within reason, within a reasonable budget and, safety, she can tell us, she can direct the entire day. So, whatever she wants to do, we'll say yes to.
Everything.
And it included, we kicked things off at the trampoline park, which was very fun.
Nice.
And then she wanted to go get bubble gum because she had just had bubble gum the previous day for the first time. So that was first trip to Walgreens to get bubble gum. And then we went to a new playground, went out to lunch, came home and rested. And then we ended the day with a movie at the Asheville Brewing.
Nice. Love that. Asheville Brewing Company.
Asheville Brewing Company, which is a brewery and a restaurant, but they have movie theaters that with tables, and you just kind of sit and enjoy a movie. And the kids' movie was Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. So we watched the movie, and it was fun, and it was great, and everybody had a good time. We get home, and we're kind of debriefing it with Chloe, our 2.5-year-old, and it occurred to me that she had no idea what a meatball was and was very confused throughout the entire movie about it. It was like kind of rating meatballs. She couldn't figure out what it was talking about. I had no idea what these meatballs were. And I just thought it was hilarious that she had no idea what meatballs.
That's very funny. Good. Well, I always like the Asheville Brewing movie day. That's a great date. It's a great family activity. Whichever one you want. Get some vegan pizza.
Yep.
It's a good time. And some beer. Course.
And some tater tots.
That's right. All right, so we got to get the tater tots and we need to get the beer. These two topics. People, by the way, are writing very nice things. Welcome back. I saw a lot of good things in the Discord that made me very happy this morning. I really didn't check in the whole week. I just unplugged. But I did see lots of people saying they don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know how to get their workout done. They don't know how to focus at work, or they don't want to focus at work, and they don't know what to do instead.
Lots of good things about people's lives being upended by it.
Yeah, but
you
I
not
no,
doing
I'm very flattered by that. I mean, I think as I've said here before, Seth Godin, my mentor guy in this space, uh, has always said if you don't show up, like the way to know if you're doing a good thing is if you don't show up and people miss you, they wonder where you are, whatever. As opposed to like a traditional, marketer, quote unquote, is very interruptive, and if they just stop sending stuff, usually people just don't care, and that's a sign you're not doing a good job. So anyway, I was very touched that people really do care, and I'm glad that so many people are back attending even right now. So thank you everyone for all that stuff. It really was cool, and I had a good time going through that this morning, reading what people were doing. Someone whose name I forget ran Umstead 100-miler this April 1st or something. So that's an accomplishment for sure. Congratulations. I wish I had their name at hand right now.
Law Dog.
Yes, that's who it is. And I think Law Dog is the one who was heavily anti-tater tots in the question about
the great potato debate of 22K23.
Yeah. Great fried potato debate. So Doug, you posed in there the question. I think it was settling a bet or something. What if you're going to get a fried potato thing, are you getting
waffle fries, tater tots, curly fries, or regular fries?
Okay. You said waffle fries,
tater tots, curly fries, or regular fries.
Okay. So 3 kinds of fries and then 1 tater tot. And a lot of people like the tater tots. I'm pretty much in agreement, though. I think was it Law Dog who said this? Who said just the worst thing in the world? Tater tots, hates them.
Tater tots belong in the garbage. And then people agreed. It was actually at the very beginning. It was very much an anti-tater tot response, and I was taken aback. I mean, I was like, I don't even know who these people are.
I really do understand where they're coming from. Like tater tots, they have an addictive nature to them for sure. If you haven't had them in a long time and they're presented to you, it's hard to not eat them. It's hard to stop eating them. But like, you just don't feel good while you're eating them. About eating them, they just taste greasy and fried, and like, I don't know. Compared to a French fry, where like it's a lot of actual potato in the middle of that thing. I don't know. I get it, and I never feel good after tater tots. So I'm kind of on board with that sentiment, even though I know, of course, you would not be. Nor is Bianca.
I do not agree. Although I will agree that they do kind of feel very heavy afterwards, and you don't if you chow down on a whole basket, then you're not going to feel very good. I agree with you there, but man, do they taste good.
Well, the answer is definitely not curly fries. I don't know if anyone did say curly fries. Does anyone actually like them and say those are the best fries?
I don't know. I mean, I don't hate a curly fry. I used to love like an Arby's curly fry. They're probably not vegans. It's been a while since I've had them. But
yeah, it's just like they always have that seasoning on them that is sort of strange, and very rarely do you get a fresh curly fry. They're almost always frozen. So you sometimes can taste the frozen nature of them.
Right.
So I'd go between regular fry and waffle fry. Probably the waffle fry. Waffle fry is a nice little balance between the regular fry and the tater tot, right? You get some surface area, you get extra fried content, but not too
I
much.
love a good waffle fry.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of waffle fries. I would go tater tot, waffle fry, regular fry, curly fry. Okay. But the debate was around waffle fries and tater tots. We were at a place that offered both, and that's how it kind of sparked the conversation of what's the best fried tater. And
good. All right. Well, Aisha says curly fries are good every once in a while, and that's kind of how I feel about tater tots. They're good every once in a while. Aaron says it was Good Pop was the name of those ice cream things that we had.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I thought maybe that was your daughter, and your name is, and she calls you Pop.
No, she calls my dad Pop.
Okay.
Steven says he always thought it was pronounced Reese's, and he says, but you guys say Reese's, and I guess you guys, he means either Americans or us. I don't know. No, Steven, you don't say Reese's. It is Reese's. You're correct. There's an apostrophe. It's just a possessive. It's Reese's thing. My wife also says Reese's. She says Reese's Pieces, so it rhymes. It irks me, but I have to accept it. You just have to stop picking that fight eventually. It's Reese's. I know Doug says Reese's too, but it's not. That's not what it is.
I mispronounce about 50% of the words that I say. So.
Well, I think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people call it that.
Okay.
But you can't do that and just be self-respecting person who understands grammar and all that stuff. And Dale Stevens says, new Matt hair feels like it's been forever. Yeah, all I did was got sick of blonde hair and shaved it off myself. So it wasn't really a fancy haircut or anything.
That's why you look different. Okay.
Yeah, I did it at the start of the break just to signal change, turning of the page. All right, so
here's one. Mr. Jeffrey has a good final comment here on the fry debate. I feel like there's a ceiling. I feel like the ceiling and floor on fries is so vast, but tots and waffle fries, you know what you're going to get every time. I think that is pretty true.
That's a good point. Yeah.
There's some fries that are just not good and totally unsatisfying.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
All right. What else is up?
What else is up is this 21-day dry challenge, which starts today. I got the compliment email about it, signed up for it over the break. But when I signed up, I didn't fully commit. I signed up.
Oh, you're not committed. I've been telling everybody you're going to do it.
I saw you were doing that. I don't remember what I said before the break about it. I think I said I would sound like a good thing. I would probably try to drink some extra alcohol during the break so that I'd be really motivated to not, which I actually did drink some extra alcohol because first of all, we split a bottle of wine several times between me and my wife. And then last night we did that, but I even had one more beer at the end of the night saying, just would never do this. Have more alcohol than half a bottle of wine. I really just almost never do. But I said, if I'm going to go into a little break here, this would be a good thing to make me not want it at all. If I just have a little extra here. So I did that. And I'm scared to do it, really. I don't know why. I did this about 5 years ago, and I did a month, and I really loved how I felt. And it was around New Year's, and I was like, it was like never before in my adult life how positive my mood was. But I sort of lumped it in with, it was New Year's. I had some new goals and things I was working on, one of which was kicking off with this dry January.
Yep.
I was going to the gym again consistently every day, like just started. So it was all these things happening. And I said, this is probably why I feel so good. How much of it is the alcohol, the lack of alcohol in my life? I couldn't tell. So because of that, I'm really intrigued and excited. My dependence on alcohol now is too great for me to commit. I just can't. I look forward to the weekends and cooking dinner and having wine. It's like my favorite activity in the world. And I don't know what I would do without that. So I'm afraid to commit to not
Maybe that's the reason to do it, right? It's just
I know, right?
Yeah,
it definitely is.
Because you're not committing long term. It's just 3 weeks.
You're right. It's not very long. My firm commitment for myself, and I know this is not the point of the challenge. I'm not encouraging anyone to do this. I'm saying I'm absolutely not having alcohol on weekdays. Friday night accepted because it's no longer a weekday. That's my promise.
What about Sunday night?
I don't know about that because that's a big dinner day, but it's also like 3 weekend days is kind of cheating.
That's almost.
So I haven't crossed that bridge. I really hope to really fully do it. I think that would be great. And like I said, it was a great experience before when I did. I'm just unwilling. I can't. I have to leave myself that out.
All right.
It's just I just love
fair
that.
Fair enough. I apologize. I take responsibility for kind of announcing to the world that you were going to do this with me.
That's okay. I don't mind. And I'm pretty much in. I'm in a sense.
Well, I'm going to do it because I've committed to it.
Yeah.
Good. And I'm so the last time I've gone more than a handful of days without having a drink of alcohol was before my very first marathon, the Baltimore Marathon. That would have been like 2009, maybe somewhere around there, probably.
I think that's right. I think you ran it the year after I did. I think we determined that a long time ago, so that would be correct.
And I did a month leading up to the race. I did no alcohol. Meanwhile, I was eating like whole pizzas, frozen pizzas, and stuff like that. So it's just kind of funny how I thought that alcohol was going to be the thing that like helped me out, but I did that, and that was the last time I've gone that long since.
Yeah.
So I think 3 weeks. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this goes. Chances are I'm going to be sick for half of it because that's kind of the way life works for me right now. I'm sick. So, and unfortunately, what's that?
So that'll make it easy, right? You'd be half the days you'd be sick anyway.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. No, I am very much looking forward to it. And I hope that it does change some long-term habits for me to some degree, or at least like give me some more motivation to not have alcohol on certain nights. But I already, I've been like real excited about it, thinking about it for, I've been writing content for this thing for weeks now. And already last night, or yesterday afternoon, I made plans to meet up for some drinks with a friend later this week. And I was like, oh man, like afterwards, I was like, there's like a huge pit in my stomach. And I was like, oh man, like now what am I gonna do?
It's amazing how like what a huge part of our lives it is, right? To imagine going out and not having a drink, like it shouldn't be hard. It's just
No, it shouldn't. People do it all the time.
right, but it's just so integrated with like that social activity. For I mean,
Yeah.
if you're not a non-drinker,
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't know what to do either with that event.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad you're doing it. And yeah, like you said, the fact that I'm so dependent on at least that weekend meal with wine is a good reason why I should take the chance to see if I can break that dependence. So we'll see what happens. But I am excited about for sure whatever version
Well,
of it.
I'm gonna encourage you to do it with me.
Okay,
It'll be your
Good.
choice, but I'm gonna encourage you to do it.
good. Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah, I meant Erin's in too. She was very excited about it, so she'll have no problem.
Oh, is she gonna do it? She's gonna do it.
Well, I told her I was, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, no problem, I can do that." And then I adjusted
And then you reeled it back in. You're hoping she'd be like, "Oh no,
I was hoping
we got all
she'd say,
these
"Nah."
plans."
I was hoping she'd say, "Let's still have it on weekends." And then I was like, "Okay, I guess."
Oh, that's funny. That's great.
All right, so I think that's it. Bianca mentioned she had the
hold
animal
on.
free.
If anyone wants to join and sign up for it, there are
Yeah.
links in the Discord. But if you're not in the Discord, if you go to lovecompliment.com and then so lovecompliment.com/pages/21-day-dry-challenge. Just send us a DM and we'll send you the link.
Right, I'm typing what you said. I don't know if it'll actually work.
21-day-dry-challenge. There you go. That's it. We just pinned it in the YouTube channel, but it'll be there is so it's hosted by Michael Palm, who is our CMO at Complement, and and Molly Patrick, who is the co-founder of Clean Food Dirty Girl, and they both have been sober for many years and have great, incredible, inspiring stories, and they'll be sending out different types of content and hosting lives throughout it. And there's 1,500 people registered, which is awesome because
that's great.
that means there should be a lot of activity inside the Facebook group and all kinds of stuff. So it'll be fun.
Good, very good. I encourage everyone to do it, and I'm gonna do my best. We'll see what happens.
Hey, as we've been writing in the emails, it's about it's not about perfection, it's about progress. So
good. I like that. Honestly, most of these I always have searched, believe it or not, like I've always have wanted to drink less and just say like it'd be nice if I only drank on weekends and that was it. Or not every weekend, just sometimes, right? A couple times a month, have a bottle of wine, be great. And so I've always searched for books and things that have an approach like that, but you can't find it. And I don't know if this is rooted in the AA methodology, where of course you can't have any if you're an alcoholic. It's a disaster if you have some. But I've never found a method, as much as a lot of them will seem like they're sort of trying to be I don't know what the word is, lax, just sort of flexible, whatever. They pretty much all eventually say you shouldn't have any, none, bad, don't do it. So, and I know we're not saying here have some, we're saying don't. But I like the idea that it's not about perfection, it's about making progress.
Yeah. I don't. We're 32 minutes into this, but you know what is funny to me? So I feel like more of my friends are doing these challenges and like cutting back on alcohol. It's just kind of becoming a much more normal thing. So
definitely,
we're not groundbreaking by doing this, breaking any ground by doing this. But what I found myself doing anytime somebody tells me that they're doing one is I get almost like a little bit disappointed, because I feel like I'm going to miss out on the opportunity to have beers with them, or like if we go out for whatever, it's just going to be me having a beer, and that just doesn't sound nearly as fun. And I always feel like a little disappointed when people do it. And so that I have like a little bit of nervousness around that for telling other people. But also I just like, how funny is that like I care about what other people drink or not?
Right. I know. And is it because you think they won't be quite as much fun for you when you're out there, or is it some kind of a little bit of a threat that like says, hey, they're rising to this next level and I can't do that, or I'm unwilling to try?
I think it's the threat. I mean, it has to be. Well, maybe a little bit
Yeah.
of both. Like, but part of it is like, wanting to have the camaraderie of a few beers and the fun. But it's not to say you couldn't do that without them drinking, right? I mean, there's no reason why they
Right.
couldn't do that.
No. It's
So
you
I
want
think a
someone to
little bit
join
is
you in
is
this
the like,
activity that you know isn't good.
yeah, right. I mean,
Yeah.
it has to be a little bit of the threat,
Yeah.
or
It
like
is. I
feeling a
know the
little.
feeling. I know exactly what you mean.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mr. Jeffrey's leaving the show.
I know. I can't believe it.
I know.
But that's
Have a
okay.
good day, Mr. Jeffrey.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. D1 to No Adventure Coach says, I wish you all the best. I haven't been drinking, but plan to the last week of April on my vacation to the Dominican Republic. So that's a healthy way to do it, I think, right? Be a non-drinker, but then occasionally plan to. And if you're someone who can do that, that's wonderful. I was surprised at not surprised, but impressed at how many people in our Discord said, sounds like a fun challenge, but I don't need it because I don't drink at all, or I haven't drank in
Yeah,
2
yeah.
years or whatever. So good. I mean, good for everybody. It's fantastic. Because it is not a healthy thing. I am beyond the idea that it is a healthy activity. For a long time, that was sort of my justification, and maybe even reason. I thought this is associated with health, blue zones, but I do not believe that it is. So that progress for me. All right, we don't have much today as far as content. We figured this was supposed to be a catch-up day. We can pull from what we've got here. That is, the thing I was saying was Bianca posted something interesting about an animal-free whey protein, which is not that new anymore, where they're basically using precision fermentation to create a molecule that is identical to whey protein, but no animals are involved whatsoever. It's not even like cell-based agriculture where they're starting with the animal thing. They're just starting with the public known genome of it, and they make it. But she said she had a cream cheese with that. I don't have the name in front of me, unfortunately. But she said it was very good, and it was, and I'm not surprised. That seems like the perfect use for this animal-free whey. Anyway, I should have pulled up the name because that would have been a good thing to share, but I didn't. But anyway, in the spirit of Discord updates and things, there's that one. Here it is. I have it right in front of me. Nourish, NURISHH, is the name of the incredible dairy animal-free. It says. I think we've talked about that before on the show. That particular product. So anyway, Bianca's always early on trying the new stuff. All right. Let's see. Interesting things that we were going to talk about, or at least mention. There's Plant-Based News put up a thing called, it's called No Longer Vegan. And it's a 15-minute video. Like, I don't know what you'd call this format of video, but it's one of the founders there, whose name I have forgotten, but Klaus Mitchell. And he goes into this, examines all these YouTubers and influencer types, including some celebrities, who have stopped being vegan, many of whom, as we talk about, it seems like when someone goes non-vegan, they go anti-vegan and they start saying how bad it is and how you can't sustain it. And then they go carnivore and all this other stuff. Anyway, I watched it this morning. I didn't watch it like critically thinking and saying, how can we present this to our audience? But it's just worth sharing. Go check it out. It's at plantbasednews.org. I was drawn to it because, Doug, your article about celebrities not being vegan was this, big hit on their platform,
right?
That you published there. And I wondered, that must have, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing they saw that kind of interest and said, how can we make more content around this topic?
Yes.
And they did. And it's good content. It was actually a very good video. So check it out.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting. One thing that's interesting that they call out is that a lot of the influencers, and I was thinking about this because it's really focused on influencers who have made a name for themselves, a brand for themselves as vegans. And one thing they call out is a lot of them do pretty strict versions of a vegan diet, either like a raw or focused on certain foods or eliminating certain foods or or whatever. And I
wonder, drinking their own urine as part of it.
Yeah, that was weird, right? That was kind of where I cut off the video because I was a little.
I've heard of that guy before. Sid Garza-Hillman followed him for a while and was telling me about him. I forget his name, Timothy Shea or something like that. But anyway, continue your point, and I think I know the point you're going to
make. My point was that part of the video was kind of saying that like this, those you're going to have less success. You might run into some other issues or need additional attention to your diet if you're going to follow some of these more stricter ones. Whereas like a general vegan diet, you're probably not going to have as many of the same issues. And one thing that stood out to me was, or one thing that I considered is like, do people choose these diets, these kind of more restricted versions, because they're influencers, because that'll kind of help with their, their appearance, get more attention, do all that stuff, right? Get more followers. And I mean, the vast majority of us are just eating a pretty standard vegan diet, right? And trying to eat as many whole foods as we can, but also eating a little bit of junk food and not eating cooked food, eating raw food, eating the whole spectrum of vegan diets. And it's like, how much we should pay attention to these kind of influencers just trying to stand out. I don't know. Anyway, that was my point.
Right. Well, I think I don't know if your suspicion is the right word here, but I think the idea that these people are doing these extreme diets, not because they were drawn to it by the health, but because they heard about it and then said, hey, that'd be really good content. And maybe it also will be healthy, or maybe not, but either way, I'll have some content. I think that's a huge driving factor. Just speaking as someone who's done very little bits of that, like the vegan paleo, combination where you stay vegan, but eat paleo according to paleo somehow. There's a huge factor, right? That if you might be able to make really good content from this and become the first person who's doing this, or first person who's publicly doing this, that's just a huge driver. So that is definitely I don't know about a problem, but what Klaus points out in the video is like how many of these people who quit and said it was causing them health problems also, or how many of them were actually getting, a reasonable amount of macronutrient balance and making sure they got the micronutrients they needed, versus like trying some crazy version of it and saying that's unhealthy, and then generalizing and saying being vegan is unhealthy. Certainly a lot of them that happens. So anyway, it's a good video. Go check it out, plantbasednews.org, and you'll find it, I think, near the top there. It's called No Longer Vegan. All right, and last thing for today, I think I found this today during the show research, and this is a little bit of the opposite take of those influencers who would say you can't do relatively extreme. Well, I guess we shouldn't talk about the extremeness, but that vegan diet doesn't work for health. This is a study from Italy. The article from onegreenplanet.org, where I found out about this, is titled, "Can Bodybuilders Thrive on a Vegan Diet? New Study Says Yes." And I haven't really seen a study do what this one appears to, which usually I don't think it's a great thing to not look all the way down the line at the health outcomes, like look at the results of these bodybuilders and say, does the vegan diet work for them? Instead, they just looked at, with, I guess surveys or journaling or whatever, the actual nutrient intakes reported by these bodybuilders, or what foods they were going to eat, or what foods they did eat during the bulking and the cutting phases of the diet. And they said, can the vegan ones actually reach the levels you're supposed to get as a bodybuilder? And can they actually get enough of certain things? And they, what they basically determined was that, yes, for the most part, it's not impossible. It takes some extra work, perhaps, for a vegan diet to match, what is an optimal bodybuilding diet. They said it was difficult to do with whole foods, and for that reason, protein powder was recommended. But they found some interesting stuff. One of which was that, first of all, neither omnivores nor vegans reached the recommended dietary allowance for calcium during both stages of the event. So maybe they're saying neither group was successful in reaching it in both stages. Maybe one of the groups was successful in one, but neither of them were successful for both. The vegans reached RDA for vitamin D during both phases, while omnivores only got it during the bulking phase. And that's kind of surprising to me. One reason why that might be is that the vitamin D often is in fortified dairy products. So omnivores may rely heavily on dairy during the bulking phase, have no trouble reaching their vitamin D. But maybe during the cutting phase, if they're cutting out dairy products, assuming that's not part of it, I don't know, they have no other vitamin D source. Whereas the vegans probably being more mindful about vitamin D, probably always trying to get it perhaps, or maybe just eating more vegetables in general, and it's just going to show up. Or perhaps it's a supplementation, but they may take the supplement regularly, whereas an omnivore may not see any need to, and they don't realize they're deficient during the bulking or during the cutting phase. Neither group reached RDA for vitamin B12, which is extremely interesting to me. But the intake was higher among vegans compared to omnivores during both phases. Certainly that would be because of supplementation. The vegans would actually know they needed to supplement, and the omnivores wouldn't. It finally said, vegan bodybuilders might struggle to meet their protein needs while consuming a calorie deficit diet. which I assume meant during the cutting part, they had trouble
Mhm.
getting the protein that that the other bodybuilders might be able to easily get. I'm not sure what the means would be. Anyway, there's a link to the full study there, and I've only clicked on that as we were talking. I didn't go into that part of it in preparation for this show. But if you're interested, it's there. And I don't know. This isn't surprising to me. I think we kind of knew that you could engineer a vegan diet to kind of do whatever goal you want, really, as far as macronutrients with the different supplements and things that are available now. It's not that hard. You can get vegan protein. You can get vegan complete protein. It's just not that hard. But this stuff about micronutrients and deficiencies and things that vegans who have probably just some more discipline and paying attention to some of these small things actually fare better than someone who's manipulating their diet a lot and isn't necessarily looking out for any deficiency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, I don't have too much to add there, but I think it's always good to have these kind of studies and to really, to be able to both like help people understand that what they can do on a plant-based diet and empower people to do it on a plant-based diet, but then also kind of give them some guidelines or some call out some things that they need to focus on.
Yep. There you
Hey,
go.
that's the best. That's the best result of a study for me is like, proof that, what we've been saying about a plant-based diet, but also, calling out some things that we should, of how to do it right.
Yes, agreed. Things that are not studies, but articles in general that are just entirely pro something and entirely negative something else. They always, for me, I get skeptical and I wonder about the source and the fairness of it. So when they call out that there are limitations and you got to take special, steps to address, I think that sort of adds some trust for me.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of vegan bodybuilders, by the way, I think Robert Cheek's going to spend some days at my house next week. He's on his way up from Florida.
Oh, cool.
He's going to be here, so maybe he will be popping into the morning show. He's the co-author with me of Plant-Based Athlete, so it'll be good to see Robert again, assuming it actually happens. And that is it. That's our first show back. It was good. I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we caught up on stuff. Really glad the Discord energy kept going while we were gone, while we were not doing the show, and really glad that people came out today. I mean, it was just awesome to see this great turnout today in the YouTube. So yeah, again, reminder about the 21-day dry challenge. If that sort of thing interests you, I'll pin this link one more time here on the YouTube. But otherwise, how can someone find it, Doug, if they're like a podcast listener and they don't remember the URL? What's just go to lovecompliment.com.
Yeah, well, it's not going to be super easy to find it. lovecompliment.com/pages/21-day-dry-challenge. Or you can just shoot us a message on Instagram and we'll send you the link.
Or probably Google it, right? Wouldn't by then probably be?
Yeah, probably up there. Yeah.
Good. Okay, good. Yeah, don't forget that. Jill points out here, there are so many non-alcoholic options available that make it a lot easier to give up alcohol and feel more comfortable in social settings if you're worried about it. I do think that is 100% true. This is the first time I've attempted something like this and have that easy fallback. Like I can go get a non-alcoholic Guinness or an Athletic Brewing, and they technically have 0.5% of alcohol in them or less. Chances are for me, I think it's going to usually be near zero because the European varieties always are zero. But so I don't know if that's cheating or not. I don't really view it as such for me because it's negligible amount and it's not like you get any buzz from it that would be addictive. I don't know. So I don't know, but I do wonder, like, does that make it, if you keep having that, does that make it not such a clean break anymore? Right? Do you you maintain the habit and the taste for that and the satisfaction of having a drink at the end of the day so that forever now you have to have non-alcoholic beer? Certainly a better option than having alcoholic beer. But I do wonder if people serious about this would say that's kind of cheating.
I think that the like habit of having one of those every single night would wear off pretty quickly. There'd be times when you probably want one, you're out at a picnic or barbecue or something like that. But like just having one with dinner, I think would wear off pretty quickly.
You'd move beyond the need to do that.
Yeah.
I think you're probably right about that. Because as good as they are, they're not the same. They don't,
right.
They don't, I don't know, for whatever reason, they don't scratch exactly the same itch, although they're very close. But yeah, I think you're right. All right, good. Well, yeah, good luck everyone with the first day of that. If you're joining us, check it out. And otherwise that's it. We'll be back tomorrow. and probably more like a normal show tomorrow with the weather report and some articles we've prepared.
Yep. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yep.
Very fun show.
Sounds good.
Matt, great to see your face again.
You too, Doug.
Wonderful to see so many people in the chat. Yep.
Yes. All right.
See you guys tomorrow.